I wish somebody told me this when I was 18, but one of the most important skills that you can learn as a young man is how to fight. The most unfortunate thing about being a man in the modern world is most men go through their entire lives without discovering how physically capable their body actually is. One of the things that martial arts will teach you that very few things in life will is how to carry yourself, how to think, and how to respond to pressure. And learning how to fight is not about becoming a violent person, because violent people are not good people. It is about becoming capable. When I first started Muay Thai or boxing, I thought that the biggest changes were going to be physical, but the biggest changes are actually with your mentality. There is nothing that will humble you more than fighting, because fighting will teach you things about yourself that you can just hide in everyday life. Number one is you develop the ability to protect yourself. The older I get, the more I realize how up this world actually is, and the world is a very violent place, and you can't change that, but you can change yourself and allow yourself to be protected in a world that is unpredictable. And knowing how to fight doesn't guarantee your chance of winning. You might just be on the street and you might just run into John Jones, but it does increase your chance significantly, because 99% of men are untrained. You'll probably never become a world champion, but what you will learn is distance, body language, and possible threats. At the end of the day, the best self-defense is de-escalation and walking away, but sometimes that might not be an option. Number two is more confidence. There was one day in my life where I just realized that I spent my entire youth trying to prove something to myself, trying to prove something to the world, and trying to prove something to others. It was the juxtaposition of the less I knew how to fight, the more fights I would get into, because I constantly felt the need to try to validate myself and prove to myself that I am who I say I am. But the more that you learn how to fight and the more that you develop your skills, the less you have to prove anything to yourself, because you are testing yourself consistently. If you're sparring a few times a week, you don't feel the need to go out there and fight with random people, because you're fighting on a weekly basis. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. When I was younger and I didn't train martial arts, I didn't train boxing, I didn't train Muay Thai, I found myself getting into a lot of fights because I didn't feel good enough. It was from a place of insecurity. They often say that the quietest person in the room is the most dangerous and the loudest person is the least dangerous, and it's true, because when you are tough and you know deep down inside what you are capable of, what you are made of, you don't feel the need to prove that to anybody else. You don't feel the need to tell everybody. The more that you learn how to fight, the easier that life will become, because life is just easier when you are more confident. You make more eye contact, you take up more space, you are not afraid to talk about your opinions. And this confidence is going to carry itself into business. It's going to carry itself into dating. It's going to carry itself in every single situation of your life. I'm actually sweating so much right now because I'm in Vietnam. I turned the AC off because I wanted to get good audio. Number three is you build an aesthetic physique. This is an unpopular opinion, but the more attractive you are, the easier the game of life becomes. People like to pretend that your appearance does not matter and it's all about your personality, but the fundamental truth of the universe is attractive people are treated differently. It's the same reason that if you kill a spider, you're doing everybody a favor, versus if you kill a butterfly, then you're a monster. And building an aesthetic physique isn't about becoming a mass mutant bodybuilder type of body. It's about looking athletic, looking functional, and looking flexible. And fighting is one of the best workouts to build the muscles that give you that aesthetic physique. By training martial arts and doing the exercises that will facilitate your growth as a martial artist, you'll naturally build your arms, you'll naturally build your shoulders, you'll naturally build your back, and you will naturally build that aesthetic Greek god physique. Building an aesthetic physique isn't about looking big, it's about looking capable. Fighters usually have a good balance of looking muscular, looking agile, looking quick, looking athletic, and looking fast. And fundamentally, that is what building an aesthetic physique is all about. And not only that, but if you want to have a lean physique year round, then you need to be incorporating some type of cardio into your routine. And there's no better cardio than martial arts, because you're learning a skill that can apply to real life. It's fun, and who likes to walk on the treadmill for 3 hours a day anyways? Martial arts coupled with weightlifting will give you a physique that puts you in the top 1%. Number four, people will respect you more. We men like to avoid the fundamental truth that the more that you are capable of violence, the more people will respect you. Our brains have evolved for survival, and every time a man meets another man, he subconsciously analyzes, is this person a threat? It's why when world champion fighters walk into any room, they are the most revered, because 99% of the world will never intentionally put themselves into a situation where somebody is trying to hurt them. There's just something very primal about knowing that somebody can defend themselves. The goal is not to intimidate people. The goal is to become somebody that other people subconsciously respect. As a man, capability without arrogance will always be more respected than loudness with ignorance. Number 5 is brotherhood and community. It took me 27 years to realize this, but life is not a single player game. And as much as martial arts is an individual sport, nobody becomes good alone. They need a good team, they need good sparring partners, and they need a good community. The fight gym is one of the only places in the world where your status outside of the gym does not matter. Drug dealers, police officers, entrepreneurs, people of different religions can all coexist in a martial arts gym. And the respect that you gain with somebody that you sparred with or fought against is like nothing else in this world. Suffering beside people will always create a more meaningful relationship than just small talk. Being a man is incredibly lonely because it's difficult to find a brotherhood, but there's no better place to find a brotherhood than a martial arts gym because you all have a common goal of becoming the best versions of yourself. Number 6 is increased aura. Nobody tells men this, but you should spend your entire life Auramaxxing. Whatever you're doing in life as a man, whether it's your side quest, whether it's your main quest, should be increasing your aura. And at the end of the day, aura will ultimately come down to your competence, not by writing your goals down on a piece of paper, but by proving to yourself that you are who you say you are. And if you tell yourself that you're tough, or you tell yourself that you're resilient, or you tell yourself that you have mental fortitude, there's no better way to prove that to yourself by learning martial arts and fighting. When you know that you can actually defend yourself and it comes from having proof, you walk around the world with a different type of energy. Number 7 is you make more money. The older I get, the more that I realize that the more capable you are of doing difficult things, the easier it is to make money. Nobody is forcing you to go to the gym. You are doing that voluntarily, and it's hard, it's difficult, but the more that you can consistently show up, the more that you realize that you are capable of doing hard and difficult things. And full transparency, it is incredibly intimidating to walk into the gym for the first time, but once you do it, you have a newfound respect for yourself. Just like lifting weights and going to the gym, martial arts is all about progressive overload. The longer you do it, the more that you need to consistently increase the difficulty, otherwise you'll never get better. And it's the same thing with business. And I think one of the things that holds people back in life is the fear of rejection, especially in business. But if you're going to the gym and you're getting punched in the face consistently, you're gonna realize that rejection isn't that scary. One of the biggest things about business is being able to take criticism and not take it personally. And one of the best ways to learn that skill is through martial arts, because you're going to get coached, and the more coachable you are, the faster your rate of progress is going to be. And the less coachable that you are, the more that you take things personally, you're going to increase your skill at a slower rate. The money is not going to come through fighting. The money is going to come through the person that you become. Number 8 is you have more dating options. I might get in trouble for saying this, but there is a large contingent of women that would never date a man that could not only provide for her, but also protect her. The safer that a woman feels around you, the more attracted to you she is going to be. This may piss a lot of people off, but you should never promise a woman her safety if you never develop the ability to provide it. Women are much more emotionally intelligent than men, and they will always be able to realize the difference between genuine confidence and performative masculinity. Number 9 is you will develop more emotional control. Nothing that will teach you that anger can hurt you more than it can help you than martial arts. When you get angry and your heart rate spikes, you're going to realize that you get tired much quicker, and there's nothing worse than a fighter who is tired. A calm fighter will always be able to see openings that an angry fighter fails to recognize. One of the most important things that fighting will teach you is how to channel your anger, because anger can be used to build or it can be used to destroy. Anger is just motivation, and you can use that motivation to become the best version of yourself, or you can use that anger to destroy your life, and there's nothing that will teach you this faster than fighting. Most people join their martial arts gym wanting to learn how to fight, but they end up learning how to live. And this YouTube channel is all about becoming the best version of yourself, and I know I can't get to my deathbed knowing that I never became the best version of myself, and one of the most important steps for me to do so is taking on my first fight. At the time of recording this video, it's July 21st, 2026, which means it's my 28th birthday. And yeah, I've gone to the boxing gym. I've done hard spars that are pretty much just a fight with 16-ounce gloves and headgear, but I've never performed in an organized fight. So my commitment this year is to change that. I might win, I might lose, but at the end of the day, I will learn. And I'm gonna document every single step of that journey on this YouTube channel. So if you guys wanna follow along, don't forget to click subscribe. Other than that, links in the description for customized trading, nutrition, and accountability. I will see you guys in the next video.